Good morning. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Create with Brenda. I am Brenda Hillard, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I live in north central Minnesota. Anyway, let's get rid of my logo here, and we'll start talking about our, whoa, look at that, Coffee and Create with Brenda. That's kind of a fun thing, too. That happens Saturday mornings at 9 o'clock. It's a Facebook Live. And if you can join me, I would love it. I have fun, fresh projects every Saturday morning. Like I said, 9 a.m. Central Daylight Time now. So, well, here we are again. Savings are in bloom. This is the promotion going on now through the end of March. I've talked about this several times before. The mini stamp cut and emboss machine is 20% off. Regularly $60, on sale for $48. And not only that, there's 13 bundles that are also reduced 20%. So you'll want to check this out. You can go to Create with Brenda and you'll see a post called Savings Are in Bloom, and you can get a good close-up look at all of these. So far, I have done a project using the Art Gallery bundle. I did a project using the Celebrate Sunflowers bundle. And today I'm going to do a project using the Pansy Patch bundle. So let's get started. I have all my little dies and die cut pieces down here. And just for the sake of saving time, I had die cut them ahead of time. But I'll show you what I cut them out of or what I've cut out and using what papers. Here's the beautiful bundle, Pansy Patch. And of course, you can see I've got a lot of the dies down here, and we'll go through those. But these are the dies that are included in the kit or in the bundle. And these are the ones that I did not use for this particular project. But is what I want to show you is not only is there a bundle with stamps and dies, but look at this beautiful Pansy Petal Designer Series paper. And from what I can tell, this will be going away. Our Designer Series papers, once in a while they carry over, but next week, March 23rd, we will get the official retiring list. So if this paper appeals to you and you would like it, now's the time to get it because it will sell out fast. You can see this piece of Designer Series paper has the large pansies. And I have a piece of it here because I wanted to show you. I love when Stampin' Up! Does this. So what it is you can cut these pansies right out of the paper. So if you don't want to stamp them and you don't want to die cut the pieces like I'm going to show you in just a few minutes, you can just simply use these dies and cut them directly from the Designer Series papers. All right, let's get started with our project. So the project I have for us today this isn't anything new. It's an angled trifold card. They've been around for a long time. But I wanted to use this with the pansy papers. So here's the card for today. It has the belly band that slides on and off, and then it opens like this. I love it, and I hope you do too. And then this just slides right back on the card to hold it closed. All right, let's get started. We're going to make this today. So, and then you know me, coordinating envelope flaps. I always say no naked envelopes here at Create with Brenda. So there's the coordinating envelope. I also used the layering circle dies, and that's how I formed this medallion that sits on our belly band. Okay. All right. So here's the pieces that you're going to need. I die cut a calypso coral circle. And I'm not going to tell you exactly which circles because it's all going to depend upon the size of your pansy that you choose to do. And I'll show you here in a minute what I'm talking about. But so from the die cuts, I cut one of these using Gorgeous Grape paper. I cut two of these using Highland Heather, one of these using Evening Evergreen, one of these with Evening Evergreen, and one of these with Evening Evergreen, one of these with Highland Heather, one of these with the Gorgeous Grape. I cut a bunch of these, and when I say a bunch, the reason I say that is because it cuts out 3 at one time. But I used bumblebee paper, and then I cut out one of these using basic white, and then for the leaf overlays, I used soft succulent, cutting out one of each of those. These pieces are small enough that you can lay them out on your cutting board or cutting plates, and literally like 2 passes through, you can cut everything out that you need. I'm just going to push all of that to the side. I have a piece of pale papaya that measures 5.5 by 11. I'm going to score it at 3 3/8 and 7 5/8. I have a piece of basic white that measures 4 by 5 1/4. I have a scrap piece of basic white for our sentiment. I have 2 pieces of designer series paper that measure 3 1/8 by 5 1/4. I have a strip of pale papaya that measures 3/4 by 9 3/4. And then I have a medium basic white envelope with a piece of the designer series paper that measures 2 3/4 by 5 3/4. All right, so let's start with our envelope. We'll just get that done and move it out of the way. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat, and I'm just going to add adhesive right below, I should say, the score line there. And we'll put our piece of designer series paper on the card, on the envelope, and give that a good rub. And now the envelope flap just works as our template for cutting off the extra designer series paper. So there's our pretty envelope. All right. Next, let's start assembling our pansy here. So these have an embossed side, so you want to make sure that that's facing up. And what I'm going to do is add just a little bit of Stampin' Seal on the back. I'm going to put this petal on first. And then I'm going to slide this one in so that it overlaps. Okay. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Just need to pinch it so it stays. All right. Then I'm going to take this little white, I call it a beard. I don't know if pansies really have beards or not. I know irises do, but I don't know about pansies. But for lack of better terms, that's what I'm going to call it. And then I'm going to just glue that right down along the outside edge of the Gorgeous Grape. Kind of lining that up so it'll look like that. Isn't it pretty? I just think these are so fun, and they're worth the effort of cutting it out. I'm going to put just a dot of glue right here And that's where we're going to add our little center. I'm going to use the putty end of my Take Your Pick tool, and then I can just set that right in there like that. Whoop. Okay, so that part of our flower is done. Let's fix up our leaves here. I'm going to take these intricate die cut pieces, add a little glue in the center, and then just set those right on our evening evergreen leaves. One, just like that. And here's what I was talking about earlier. So to decide how big this circle should be, it's kind of however you assemble your pansy. So if this gets a little taller, your circle would need to be bigger. If you push those down further, your circle could be smaller. But this is what I've chose to do on here. So I'm going to take some of my Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm just going to put that right on the back here. Take my backings off. And I'm going to put that right on my circle here. And I can add a little bit of glue to these. And as all I'm doing is making that medallion that's going to fit on top of our belly band for our card. And then I'll just slip that smaller leaf in there too. I'm going to pinch that and give it just a minute to set up. And then we can add Stamp and Seal the back of our white circle. And we can put that right on our Calypso Coral circle. So it'll look like that. Aren't these pretty? All right, I'm going to take our scrap of basic white and our Memento black ink, and I'm just going to ink that up, and I'm going to stamp our happy birthday right there. This font, the font in the stamp set is adorable. I'm going to cut this down. And don't worry about it being exact. It's okay. Because all we're going to do is add a little bit of Stamp and Seal at the top. And then we can put that happy birthday right in here like that. Okay. I'm going to set that with our belly band off to the side. And now comes the part where, you know what, while I have my Memento black ink on our 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece, I'm just going to stamp our sentiment. And that comes from the Pansy Patch set also. It says, wishing you a little extra happiness just because you're you, which I think is a really cute sentiment. And wait till you see the font on this again. So I'm going to line that up, bring this back out. Ink it up. And because I'm using photopolymer, I'm stamping on my silicone mat just to give it that little extra cushion. See how cute that font is? I love it. Okay. Now let's do that little pansy bud. So is what I'm going to do is just add some liquid glue at the very top, and then just a little bit along the stem just to hold it down. And I'm going to put this right here. Okay. I'm going to take the Highland Heather piece, the bigger piece, and then I have the gorgeous grape shell, some glue, and we can put these two pieces together. And then I want to take one of our bumblebee pieces. I'm going to flip this over, add some glue. Whoops, wrong cap. All right. I'm going to pick that up. And I just simply want to slide that up between the Highland Heather and the gorgeous grape. Isn't it pretty? Can you see all the embossed lines on there? Love it. I'm going to add some glue. And then I'm just going to slide that up under the little stem here. There it is. So that's going to be the inside. So really, it's just as pretty on the inside as it is the outside. I don't know why I put adhesive on there because we are not even ready for that. So I'm going to set it off to the side. And let's start our cutting for the card base. So this can be a little bit tricky, but it's not hard. You just have to kind of think about what you're doing. All right. So for these, we have two pieces of 3 1/8 by 5 1/4. And we're just going to turn these back to back. Okay, so one's going to be upside down, one's going to be right side up. I'm going to bring in my trimmer. And I want to, take these two pieces. And now we're working with the two pieces of Designer Series paper, right? These. And is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put these up at the top here. And I have to think about this for a minute. Okay, so I'm going to put this at the 1-inch mark, and let's see, 1 inch. Yep, and I need my pencil, and I'm just going to put, oh, I want it at the top side. I'm sorry. So we're going to do a little mark here, and then I have to think about this. We're going to put this here. Is that right? You guys, I'm sorry. I'm all of a sudden I'm confusing myself. 1 inch down on the top. That's right. There it goes, 1 inch. And then we're going to put this at the top, and we're going to do 1 inch right here. Okay? So then is what we're going to do is we put the point on the cutting trough and our pencil tick on the cutting trough right here. And we can simply cut. And then we're going to put this point on the cutting trough and the 1-inch mark here. And we're going to cut that off. So we end up with these triangles that we've just cut off, okay? So those are our pieces. Now, let's take this piece, 5.5 by 11, and we're going to score it at 3 3/8 and 7 5/8. Okay, so there we have that. And I'm just going to put a little mark up here for the top and the bottom. It just helps me. All right, so here we go. We're going to do kind of that same pencil mark thing, okay? So we're going to put the 5.5-inch side up here. And we're at the 1-inch mark. We're going to make a mark right here and a mark right here, right? And we're going to turn it around and we're going to do the same thing here and here, right? Now we're going to put this side up and we're going to do 1 inch. So we can do the 1 and 1, and then we'll flip and we'll do 1 and 1. All right. So now is what we're going to do. This is our top, right? So I'm going to put the score line on the cutting trough and our 1-inch mark here. And we're going to cut. Again, we end up with that triangle. And then from this corner down to this corner. See, we didn't need that one, but I always get mixed up. So it gets cut off anyway. So just mark it if you want to, if you get mixed up like I do. All right, so there's that side. Now we're going to do that same thing here. So I'm going to take my score line right here and the 1-inch mark. And that's too much. That's wrong. I'm going to do the score line here and this 1-inch mark. That's what it is. And I'm going to cut. We get the little triangle. And then I'm going to put this point in the cutting trough and the 1-inch tick mark and cut. Yay. All right. So there's our cutting. And this is how we're going to get that fun trifold, the angled trifold. And like I said, it's not hard. You just have to think about what you're doing. I'm going to take my little tick marks off the card, and then I'll take the top and the bottom off too. All right. So now our fun pieces that we cut earlier. See, and here's the other thing too, is if you wouldn't have turned them back to back, when you cut, they wouldn't have fit right. I don't know how to explain it, not right at the moment, but you have to put them like what I call wrong sides together from my sewing experience, but then you get that mirror cut so that you have your perfect fit. So one goes this way. Like that. And then this one, add some Stampin' Seal. Goes this way. And then remember before when I added the adhesive too early? Well, now we can just center that right on the inside of our card. And these close over. And as all we have left is to make our belly band. So we're going to take the 3/4 by 9 3/4 inch piece. And I'm just going to lay this across the back. And I'm going to fold this edge in. And you want just loose fold because you want it to be able to slide on your card. I've made these before where way too tight and you can't slide it on and off your card. Not good. I'm going to add just a little bit of tear and tape because it really holds. I'll burnish that down and then we can pick the backing off. And then we'll just bring this around so that it matches up. And if you do this so that it's in the front, now when we put our medallion on, it'll cover that seam. So what I'm going to do is take dimensionals. I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. Put this on at a little bit of an angle. And we have it. You guys, this bundle is really, really pretty. And like I said, with the Savings Are in Bloom promotion going on right now, you can get that bundle at 20% off. I know a lot of my customers already own this bundle, so I hope you'll give this project a try. And yeah, so there it is. Oh, you know what I forgot? I knew there was something. Hold on. We need to have the butterflies. These butterflies are awesome. As you can see, I've gone through just a few of them. But I'm going to take one of the big butterflies, put it right here, and then I'm going to have them just kind of fluttering up. I'll take another big butterfly and put it on the belly band. And then I want just one of these little guys. Oops, I got them flying all over now. I don't have very many little guys left. I have to get some more. I'll put one there. Okay, so now we have our butterflies, our pansies, our belly band card that opens like this. All right, guys, until next time, have a great rest of your day. And remember to go out to createwithbrenda.com for all of your shopping needs. I also want to post up here my monthly host code. And if your order is under $150, please use this host code. You will receive my host code gift with a qualifying purchase of $50 or more. And yeah, I look forward to your orders. See you later.